everyone, my name is Holly, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite bookish villains. Villains. I just can't get enough. Why, you ask? Well, they're complex, they're unpredictable, their outfits are better, so I have gathered a very evil list here in no particular order, so let's begin. Number 1. There's one villain that comes to mind automatically when I think of my favorite villains, and that is Negan from the Walking Dead comics by Robert Kirkman. The Walking Dead has some great villains, but Negan is such a notorious character from the comics and the TV show. He's amazing, he's terrifying, he's funny, and he's charming. And the reason why I think he's so terrifying is because he makes a certain amount of sense. Even though he does horrible, horrific things, there's a certain logic, a barbaric logic, but a logic to it. He's unapologetic and completely sadistic, but ultimately a favorite of mine. Team Negan here. Number 2, President Snow from The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I hate him. I hate him a lot. This is a total hats off to the author, because there are few villains that I feel so incredibly inclined to want to beat them in the head with their own book. He is scary and cruel and terrifying, and he totally ruined the concept of white roses for me. This guy basically kills children. How more horrible can you get? And he's a fabricator of this false illusion of the glory of war and the pain hidden behind it in this world. I hate him, in case you didn't pick that up. Number 3, Joffrey from Game of Thrones by George R. Martin. Let's see, how can I explain Joffrey to someone who has never read or seen Game of Thrones? Imagine that spoiled, entitled child in a store demanding for his every wish to be fulfilled. Take that child and exponentially increase the violent tendencies, and you have Joffrey Baratheon. Joffrey is the atrocious child king who brought waves of torture and assault and murder and sexual demoralization. Joffrey is a character for being genuinely hated for being a vile character. Barely worth hoping for a change of heart, honestly. He is spoiled and narcissistic and was raised to believe that everything the whole world has to offer is his for the taking. He is also cruel to the point of being sadistic. So yeah, there is absolutely no way to make a list of villains without adding Joffrey. Number 4, the Comas from the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. I loved the description of the barbarian country of Vinda in this series. Vinda is ruled by the Comasar, who came into power by murdering the previous Comasar. I'm holding the second book because this is where we truly get to see the Comasar in all of his glory. He is ruthless and is plotting to take over all of the other kingdoms. The whole second half of the series, I was seriously stricken and worried for Leah. I could picture all of the Comasar's expressions and almost hear his voice, because this character, man, he is something else. Last but not least, number 5. The Darkling from the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. Maybe it's the fact that I just recently read this series, or maybe it's because the Darkling is one of the most despicable villains I have the pleasure of reading about. But I freaking love him. The Darkling is everything I love in a villain. He's dark, charming, powerful, and he thinks he's working for a noble cause. This is gonna sound weird, but I just thought he was so cool and sultry and just an awesome villain, and I had to add him to this list. Alright, so those were my top 5 favorite bookish villains. Tell me down below in the comments who your favorite villains are, because I would love to know. Or tell me what you think makes the best bookish villains. So yes, I really hope you enjoyed, and until we meet again, happy reading.